Good evening, everybody. We have Eat My Steel and Russian Bishop. I'm Fury SK, and alongside me is Zoa.
How's everybody doing tonight?
I think Eat My Steel took the first game of this series.
How's that? Can you hear me better?
And we'll see if it's all good now. It was feedback and through you. I could hear myself, but...
Alright. Well, if it gives you any more problems, just let me know. Try and change something else up.
Looks like the runners are going to get underway here, though. Alright, so what do we got here? We got... Looks like wood, sword, and silvers as our starting items.
Yep.
And 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 8 would be the first quest scenario. So 4 and 5 are the safe ones to check. We'll have to check and see if they're in first, second, or shapes to kind of discover what the rest of that's going to look like.
Yep, we got early permanent sword beams. And a nice header on Russian Bishop's screen that the race will start in 10 minutes. It looks like a vanilla 7 or shape 7 starting location.
HP wise doesn't look too bad yet, though. I'm seeing a whole bunch of stuff drop to a sword beam that looks permanent.
Yep. Got the midnight blue penguin on the Eatmysteel side. Vanilla hints. They will surely lead you nothing.
Yeah, we sent XRB a little bit of a message on his text, so we'll see if he gets it out of there. But in the meantime, that kind of almost looked like 7, just because of the way it was situated. Just an initial guess, though.
Yep, I agree. So I didn't quite catch it, but it seemed like they were, if this is first quest, they were missing, what, 1, 2?
If we presume first quest along the way, it's 1, 2, 6, and 7 that are missing. We do not yet know, however, what at least on the front side, we aren't quite sure yet.
Right, on the back half, it definitely appears to be first year shapes. Got extra candles on in the take-ins.
We did also have the book in the shop, so with that in mind,
These runners.
we're going to be able to use our little merchant guy again for the book once they decide to pick it up. Looks like they are going to make the decision to opt into candle purchases, even though there should... I don't know actually if candles are going to be in the bonus caves and or in the wood sword cave, since they already start. sword.
Excuse me, we did see extra candles in the bonus caves.
Ah, very good. Then it's just a situation where they didn't want to have to search the overworld for that wood sword.
With that fairy fountain at Vanilla 5, looks like we'll have a full second quest.
Yep, that's I guess that's kind of fortunate in a way. You don't have to go around randomly trying to open spots if you know that that leads to a full second overworld. We'll see if both runners catch on or who kind of figures it out first. Unfortunately, I missed the candle burn there, so you have to try again on Bishop's side.
It's the second bonus cave that Bishop's found today. The power bracelet was indeed the Armos item.
Certainly looks early on like we got another one of those routing seeds where we have very little combat to worry about early on, but we certainly have to search out the overworld to try and find those last couple of dungeons that we need. And I guess still to figure out what kind of first quest, second quest mix shapes we got on the underworld. And unfortunately, even if the enemies are 0 HP, you gotta watch out for the Lionel beams. They like to destroy you pretty quickly. They still take the standard 2 HP every time it hits you on a green tunic. We have a bright blue level 2. That makes me very suspect of first quest dungeon alignment.
Absolutely. That would be an unshuffled palette. Also would line up with the level 7 that we saw earlier, which was green.
If this is in fact level 2, then there wasn't a very good chance of anything dropping in this room. He's gonna poke around and make sure it's not a push block, but it's the exterior that has it. And we do have Wizrobes in the dungeon.
I believe that maze room, it's only going to have a drop in level 4 in the first quest, correct?
That is the predominant room you'll have something pop up in. There's, I think there's one other scenario that it's probable, but I would have to recheck the table to be 100% on that. Alright, so it's definitely looking like we have 3, 4, 5, and 8 as our Triforces, given that I saw a green 7 that started. Well, hold on a minute.
That was a green 5 as well. That also would be unshuffled.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Chad here. It looks like it's a shapes. It just gave us a lead-in like it was going to be a vanilla shape too, but it is potentially not anymore. It looks like it's too far over on that compass. Yep, that's one warped banana. We are in shapes first.
Yeah, what a troll. Now this was the remorse flag this evening for Russian Bishop, to not hide the dungeon levels that you're in.
And we do have a blue boomerang on the floor on level 2. That's a bit of an interesting item to find on the floor in there, but I don't want to get too ahead of the game here and say that it's going to stay vanilla setup in terms of items just yet. I would, however, be expediting a dig of level 4 if I ran into it based on that knowledge, just in case they aren't shuffled in the ladders in 4. And it looks like we have 0 HP bosses as well as 0 HP enemies, so only Ganon potentially in this setup is going to have some health to him.
Yeah, first person to find a defensive upgrade can really start tanking this seed.
So we also either have our starting rooms shuffled for the dungeons a little bit across the bottom floor so far, or looks like back half may also fall into a shape setup. We'll have to see once we get them back into level 7 or 8. Nothing else that looked like 7 was a little bit ladder blocked, so definitely on a hunt for 4 if Russian Bishop can see that boomerang 2 anytime soon. He does find level 8, however, and it is its normal gray, so thinking we have that palette in place.
Yep, absolutely. It does appear to be a Shapes 8.
Well, you're not wrong. That's definitely a shape.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, excuse me, it was Russian Bishop in 2. I'm just not paying attention to it very well here. So he knows where the magical boomerang is. So will that make him consider going all out on 4, or will he dig level 1 for the bow potentially? Will he kind of go on that tangent, or will he just dig small dungeons? That's really the question of the day.
Looks like Eatmysteel is going to give us the first look at the Dead Woods.
I think we've already got the 100 secret.
Yep, that is the first and the last. As runners will see in this quest. So now that you know it's full second quest money, you've seen a boomstick. You saved your money for that. You saved your money for keys or bottles.
If it's me, it's no boomstick seed.
Yeah, I agree. If I don't have the wand, I mean, we know where the wand probably is, but since you already have the Triforce in 8, if you're not going to go dig it out, especially if it shapes 8, there's no point.
Assuming it's first quest logic, I think it's 6, but 6 is kind of in the same boat, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Shape 6. Shape 6 is worse, right? Possibly larger.
it's usually in the same ballpark size-wise with only one item, so it's kind of in there with level 7 as being kind of a lesser desired dig.
So if you find level 5, we've seen level. Do you spend the time to dig the recorder out in the hopes that it takes you to unbeaten dungeons?
Do I poke my head in a couple rooms? I would think so. Do I go all the way in and look through what might be 25, 30 rooms? Probably not. It would be nice. You still are kind of also looking for the white sword item, because that could still be its vanilla white sword if what we have seen so far holds true.
Yeah, I did not check. I did not capture what was on the coast, and Eatmysteel checked it earlier. Got word in the chat that the heart was on the coast. Thank you, chat. Again, both of these runners opting the magical boomerang. Fury definitely approves of that.
Certainly logical in this seed with the HP values we see, and no current ranged weapon that's consistent outside of a one-time blue candle.
It'll only not work on a couple bosses, Wizrogues, Dark Nuts. Outside of that, bunnies.
Looks like Eatmysteel has caught up in terms of his 2 knowledge here, so we're on our way to kind of seeing both runners in the same spot again here.
Uh-oh! xRussianBishop burns the wrong bush. That wouldn't have opened in second quest anyway. Room level 5.
for me, that's definitely a nope. Just gonna check all the blocks here, but
That flag is.
it might be on, but it's currently. I don't think that room is gonna have it kind of pushed around.
I don't believe we have the possibilities of randomizing push blocks with flags, correct? I think change.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet, right. Change shaker spot typically just limited to the overworld.
I'm sure we'll have somebody hear what you just said. Put it in feature suggestions.
Oh, sure. It's interesting that Russian Bishop is doing a little poking around in here. He's got the Triforce. Knowing that it's second quest, I don't totally disagree with this. He's done a lot of the overworld outside of Death Mountain. There are, what, 10 whistle spots in the second quest?
Offhand, there's at least a handful of additional ones. No, he forgot to take it off his main screen, chat. Looks like we got a recorder requirement, so because Dig of level 5 was profitable.
Yeah, this is a Triforce they already have, though, so it almost appeared that it was taking them to a completed dungeon.
Yeah, but the other problem we have here is that level 7 appeared to be ladder blocked, and given that we have a recorder in 5 and a magic boomerang in 2, the ladder might very well be in level 4.
I think that's a very high probability at this point.
Yeah, if we get to that point, I'd be willing to call it as vanilla item layout again.
Eatmysteel level 1. That's always good. 3 items in here to find.
Yeah, if it stays vanilla in terms of its items, and he finds himself a bow, then he'll have that potential question mark checked. Because it's shapes, this room can be a drop room. It doesn't look like it is because it's going to end up being a push to open that shutter, but we do have second quest rooms on, so that level 5 troll is avoided by Russian Bishop at least.
Goma certainly won't be blocking the bow.
Eatmysteel now knows that he needs to conserve one of his current 5 keys to go ahead and open the door to Triforce. And there's the boomerang on the floor in 1. That's vanilla as well. This is vanilla items. I'm pretty much ready to call it.
So that means we will have Raft 3, Ladder in 4, Quarter in 5, Wand in 6, Red Candle in 7, Any Key and Book, or Magic Shield in this case, in level 8.
Yeah, it looks like a problem for Eatmysteel though. He tried to go up into that corner room, there's a ladder block, so if that happens to house the bow, he's going to have to double dip this.
Yeah, he doesn't have too much left to check here on the overworld. Being up at Death Mountain now. So, soon enough, outside of checking the other power bracelet spots, we need to go dig that recorder in 5. We didn't see that any roads were shuffled, so there's 4 more power bracelets in the overworld.
Yeah, it's certainly plausible that Eatmysteel has assumed we are still potentially mixed. Once he watches this back, he'll know that if he's seen the recorder, or not the recorder, the lake spot in Vanilla 5 and the lake in level 2's Vanilla, and that the 3 is turned into a open cave without the little level setup, that's got to be all second.
Russian Bishop running into a little bit of E-ish level. Checking the river with Wall Masters, no luck.
It's a good thing everything's 0 HP because we have bomb upgrades. Might make Yan a little bit sketchy because once again he can't have his full HP layout for the seed.
Those managed to get a key out of the Hole's voice room. The question now is, where do you use it? Zonkers.
This level 4 is a nutty level 4. That's I know he's got the Triforce and he doesn't want to spend a lot of time in there, but man, oh man, that's that ladder's got to be accessible somewhere, unless it's potentially see any enemies in there that might be blocked, or is it just maybe a bomb issue?
No, I think it was more of a key issue. He had 0 keys for most of the dungeon and saw at least 4 key doors for him to choose from.
And we have the book, so we're gonna see if that's actually an atlas on top of being a boomstick.
Yeah, even if you're not going to pick up the wand, it's certainly worth the money if you can pull that.
And look what we have here at 5.
And Eatmysteel is bailing on the level we know it to be.
More importantly, he walked in, went one room in, basically, and saw a completed map in front of him with that book in hand.
Yes. I mean, we knew the map was one room to the right start, but...
Yeah, but he didn't even have to pick it up.
Nope. So his quest at this point is to still search out, I guess, level 6. He's already seen level 7. There must be some spots on the overworld he still has not checked.
Interested to see why Russian has picked this level 8 as his dig of choice here.
Well, he does get a key. As we say, if he didn't get a key there, he'd be leaving this level.
Given his key struggle so far, I'm actually just a little bit surprised he did not decide to take that key in and save his game and allow himself maybe the opportunity to look around with that key in hand. You don't expect that of a shapes situation. Usually keys come and go with the rooms you have to enter to kind of find your way around. I guess if you find any key in here by using a couple of keys, then long term it's more profitable that you can use that to get back into level 4 and dig the ladder,
Yeah.
which I think is kind of one of his goals.
Right, well, we'll have to confirm that in post-race interview, but that's definitely one way to go about solving your key problem.
I think he's certainly going to be happy with the fact that ropes are in abundance in this dungeon and they drop bombs pretty regularly.
Bishop pushes every block but the block he would need to push if indeed was.
I think he actually pushed long enough to the left there to get it to push if it was going to, so I think he's safe at this specific time, but yeah. Definitely something that you might not be used to in these flags is learning all the second quest push.
Yeah, I mean, general rule of thumb in second quest is it's always going to be the furthest block on the left within the center row. So regardless of the room that you're in, if it's going to push farthest left in the center row every.
I decided against going through that staircase. That's hit or miss, I guess. He's still got this shutter door he can walk through, so it's not the worst decision at all. A regrettable decision now that he's walked through and seen the river room, next room, but it was really just a runner's preference there. Now that he's blocked there, I think he may have to consider taking that staircase to another part of the dungeon.
And interestingly enough, he also bailed north of that manhandle room was a 5 double block room that had another manhandle, which could have been a potential item.
Eatmysteel has now found that map we were talking about earlier, and it's like, thanks game, I just picked up my book. I don't need to be free from my opponent right now. You can definitely see that Eatmysteel is concerned about walk-through walls still, because he keeps going up and pushing on them. I haven't seen any evidence just yet that there's a walkthrough wall in play, but that flag can be on, so I don't blame him.
Russian Bishop can opt to buy the bomb upgrade. That wall above the merchant selling the bombs will not ever open. Just part of the logic.
Yeah, that's something I used to do a lot too, is bomb up after I got the bomb upgrade, because I wasn't quite sure if it was the same thing as a meat block, which essentially takes your rupees the same way almost by forcing you to go out and buy meat, but I got told, I think, in my second race that was never to be a thing. Here's the shield, so he's got the first half of the vanilla setup. Now he's just got to go find the any key if he so desires it. And looks like he's going to walk away, maybe? No.
Yeah, interestingly, if you saw the position of that T room in level 8, it could only be approached by the south as the alternate entrance. So the transport would have had to taken you to that southeast corner of level 8.
Not entirely true, because there was another way down there, wasn't there? It was on the right side.
The ladder block would have been the other way.
That being said, I think the likelihood was pretty strong that the staircase would have taken you down there, unless that 5-block room happened to be the second item and or the other side of the staircase. That would have forced a hard ladder block on our runners.
So I do not blame Eatmysteel for checking these desert spots. I hope that he blows that whistle outside of the desert, see what it does, after he's done checking these few that were somewhere. Well, there you go. Corner wasn't required before.
Yep, so Eatmysteel, I guess, searched enough of the overworld to decide he wanted to go in level 5. Looks like he's going to force some doors open potentially now.
Well, that's a good piece of information right there. So Zod will definitely not be in her room, or in this case, the old man.
Yep, the always up strategy is not as prominent a strategy the moment you see that room in level 9.
An immediate ladder block to the right.
Game is definitely full of community hints at the moment.
Yeah. See if Eatmysteel digs out his boomstick. Uh-oh. Time to take the transport.
So the real question is depending on how many rooms Steel gets ladder blocked in, will he attempt to find the wand on top of the Triforce, or will he just be Triforce and go for this one?
Yeah, I might be in the same boat as yourself at this point. If you find the magical rod along the way to picking up the Triforce, great. But if not, officially conserving keys.
Yeah, the big shield for some runners really trolls them a little bit, but there's actually another reference point if you use Link's. You can either use his hair and hat, or you can use his nose to determine where you need to be pixel-wise, depending on what stance you're in. So if shield is his reference point, then that would make it a little bit more difficult for xRussianBishop to actually screen scroll on the overworld now that he has the large shield. It's crazy to see the difference in keys between our two runners and money, really.
Yeah, there was a lot of keys that Eatmysteel picked up, I believe, at level 1. I mean, not 7. He's picked up a lot here in level 6, and also is not used, but I think 1.
Well, here's a couple ropes guarding a single block. This may be our wand right here. If that is the case, we have a combat advantage. While xRussianBishop finds level 1, so we definitely have our vanilla setup here where bow is going to be in 1. Yes, ladder's going to be in 4. I don't know that we've seen a raft requirement. It's definitely not required for level 6 or 7 access. So no. I think really your dig is probably... If I'm steel, I'm going to look for the Triforce room here, then go to level 4 for the ladder, and then go back to level 1 since I can eliminate the bow down to 2 rooms, just in case it's needed.
Yeah, he still has yet to tune that whistle outside of a whistle location. So he might be ladder blocked here as well. But once he figures that out, I mean, in this race, assuming he doesn't use the whistle to get to level 4, walks, and he finds it under the grave. Once you get all 8 Triforces, are you going to make a beeline back to 1? Or are you going to go straight to 9? Check before you have to make the bow.
Even in a race, I would just go ahead and grab the bow, knowing exactly what rooms I had to look at with only 2 rooms remaining. It's...
Yeah. And valid point, too. They did start with silver arrows, so it's not like they got a full dig of shapes 9 to find the other piece of the puzzle.
So xRussianBishop is now up to 2 keys, so he's slowly built his key count finally. This race is really going to come down to who can get back into level 4 and get the ladder first, in my opinion. That's going to determine who has the best shot to win.
Eatmysteel has approximately, I'd say, 3 more whistle spots to check before he finds the one he's looking for. Oh, he is now finally going to blow the recorder and see where it takes him.
And will he flute again? Doesn't look like
it. No. I mean, I don't blame him. You know, you're in close proximity now to 2 extra spots that you can check. Well, 3 really. I mean, he will get there going up to the grave after he checks. You know.
Yeah, it took him to 2, so he knows at least that it's just going back to the dungeons he's already got Triforces for. Just will it dawn on him to go ahead and use that to get to 4's location?
be there in another three screen.
Yep, in the end, it's not going to make a huge difference that he didn't flute from that specific point to level 4. Man, from the looks of things there is a lot of rooms that xRussianBishop was able to check, so it was really unfortunate you got key blocked out last time.
Yeah, it really only looks like that bottom hook under the L and the 4 in Corral was kind of off limits.
Alright, he's now up in the top segment. So where is this ladder?
Could be to the left of this room. It's another double key block into that section. I don't recall if xRussianBishop took a look over there. Go.
There we are.
Yep. And with that, Eatmysteel's almost in go mode. I believe he accidentally used a potion there. Never a good feeling.
It's in the consolation prize. There are no red bubbles.
Yes, of course. Oh, a compass right off the get-go. No time for killing enemies. Progress straight to the truck. See if this trolls him and takes him to the segment down at 7.
Certainly has to progress him in some way, shape, or form, and it does. Not by much, though. Looks like our open staircase are supposed to be reduced to a minimum in this seed based on what we just saw with the map location in the corner of that push block room. You do hope there's not going to be a Goma in the next room after walking past the one.
How great would that be to see a Goma blocking a staircase you up to the trifle?
Well, it would amuse me a little bit because he had the opportunity to go to level 1 first, but he is going to run himself low on keys here pretty quickly.
Should definitely be a concern for that shape. There's going to be a lot of key doors.
Fortunately for Eatmysteel, the Goma was not in the next room over, blocking the way, so he's going to safely get into the Triforce room and pick up the Triforce piece for 7, leaving him just 6. So Eatmysteel has a lot of this 6 already explored. Shouldn't take him too long to run to where his ladder blocks that he knew were. Wouldn't you know it, there's a hard wall in between the bottom segment and the top segment, so once again, staircase required to take.
Go. So let's see. You gonna make the pulp to 9?
Well, if he is walking, I would assume that he's probably thinking about 9 over at level 1, since that would be a long... Well, at least a relatively long walk, but you never know here.
Yeah, it's... I still don't think he realizes the recorder takes him to beat the dungeons.
Well, in any event, he's making the play for 1, and I 100% agree with this play, because this will eliminate any potential for Ganon to troll him.
Absolutely. But just seeing him hoof it up there instead of taking a ride on the Reading, so to speak.
One up. Bomb through the wall up there. Should be a staircase room.
Not that one.
No. No dice. Wow.
I believe there was one more ladder block to the south here.
Oh man, there may not have been.
Oh,
Oh, there was no. It was a key block. Oh man. Huh. That's gotta feel a little bit scary if he goes down through the key door or bombs in. We'll see if there's a right-hand staircase or if it's a push block.
Oh no.
So, no ladder blocking the bow. It was in this little maze room all along, but you know what? It's still not like a terrible play. It just cost him the minute or so to walk back to the dungeon.
Oh yeah, one's definitely small enough. There's no reason not to double check it. But now, fully equipped with bow, silver arrows, ladder, boomstick, just off the level 9.
He has 2 keys, so he's got 2 more keys than his opponent does in this case. And Russian Bishop is not out of this race if he finds a key somewhere that he can use to open the door that he needs to open in level 4.
Has he discovered... I'm assuming he discovered level 6 in the desert.
I think that he was in there at some point.
Oh wow. It's a very trolly location to get left start there. Be a great place for the girl to hide.
And I wouldn't forgo looking at stairs if I were Eatmysteel. I would definitely go back and get that key. Holy moly. The key is super important. Yeah, but if Russian Bishop picked the bow room as one of the rooms he had explored but didn't see the block, it's still not going to exclude him depending on how this 9 is set up and whether or not Zelda is blocked by a shutter door. If she's blocked by a shutter door, it's about at the end of the road, I would think. But we got a compass, uh-oh.
Oh no, that is game over.
Yep, key door means game over, and he has the key to spend.
Get your GGs out in the chat. Eatmysteel is going to take this one with an official SRL time of 54:20.
So while we wait for him to get set up, oh, never mind, he's really quick today. Eatmysteel, congratulations on Game 2 victory and the series win over xRussianBishop.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
So how early did you suspect that the items were vanilla?
I pretty much was thinking it as soon as I found the blue boomerang in 2, and then I dug 1 just, because there's a lot of keys in 1 too, and like I could confirm it, and it pretty much did. So yeah, I mean, I had a real good suspicion that it was from the get-go, pretty much. I thought about dipping an 8, but just to check for items quick, I was like, get out of 8, no place to be.
Yeah, the only thing that really kind of tripped you up that we saw was you walked your way back up to level 1 rather than fluting your way back to the beaten dungeon, since that's what the recorder was set to.
Yeah, that's right, it was, wasn't it? For some reason, I had it in my head that it whistled to vanilla. I don't know why, and I know I checked it, and I know it didn't. And now I'm... yeah. Yeah.
It only cost you like a minute, but it was kind of funny to watch you take the long walk of shame.
Well, I had to take the long walk of shame too, and I thought that I was ladder blocked out of the Bowen one. I missed that one room on the map. I don't know how I did that. I'm usually pretty good about being really thorough like that. So first time I was in there, I could have gotten it. So that was kind of kicking myself. I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. I was positive it was up there.
Hey, you had me baited as well. I assumed it was in the ladder block room, as unfortunately xRussianBishop has tapped out on this one. He was absolutely destroyed by keys.
Yeah, I was a little worried about that too, heading into 9 with like 2 or whatever I had. I was like, you can find some in 9, but it's not guaranteed. So yeah, it was trolly in that way, I guess.
Yep. So next on the docket for you will be the winner of Catastrophe and Raikou Riders match. And interestingly enough, the next match for xRussianBishop will be the loser of Catastrophe.
Yeah, it sounds about right. That's like their next match, Catastrophe and Raikou, is like tomorrow or something, isn't it?
Yep, I believe so.
With that ping, I think xRussianBishop is about to have his mic set up and ready to go to talk to us, so we'll see what he has to say about the seed.
See if we can get him to unmute his microphone.
The real difference here was xRussianBishop could not get into the room in level 4 that had the ladder, which of course then blocks you out of 6's Triforce and 7's Triforce. And that really kind of hindered his ability to progress through the seed, even get some of the keys that you found along the way to keep yourself healthy. But sounds like we have him ready to go now.
Hey, GG there, Steel.
Hey, GG, man.
Where was 6? I've been hunting that thing forever, and my tire tracker is covered, so I must have misclicked or something. Where was
It was a second quest recorder spot, the East Coast recorder spot in the desert.
I thought I checked all the recorders. Did I miss one?
Possible. You would have found once you got into 6, there was a little bit of keys to be had. A lot of key doors as well, but also the Triforce in there was the ladder door.
Was it the one next to Monocle Rock?
That's correct.
Yeah, I have that. I have that thing marked off of my tracker. Daggone it.
It's never fun when you mismark your tracker, that's for sure.
Yeah. As I pointed out in IRC, it looked like you were trolled a little bit by the second quest push blocks scenarios as well. It's always for reference for later. It's the furthest left block that you can have in the middle row because there's an odd number of rows top to bottom in the room for the little grid it has. So in the maze room, it was actually the left side of the little hook, not the bottom or the right. And so for level 1, that was where your bow was, but it would not have helped you find any keys, which was the real problem for you this seed, in my opinion.
Yeah, I when I realized that it was vanilla items, I dug 8 for I think probably a good 15-20 minutes trying to get that any key because like everywhere I turned it was like it looked like I needed a key to get into, and I was like, let's just knock that out, and that would maybe save me some time down the road. And then after not finding it and just found that shield instead, was the key beyond the shield or was it down further south?
We never saw the key.
All right. After I was in there for like 20 minutes, I booked out of there because like I couldn't waste any more time, and then I just could not find 6 for the death of.
Well, it does kick you down into the bonus bracket, but you're going to have a couple more matches and a little bit more time to practice up on some of these flags. It's a bit of a trolley flag set, but it gives you a good opportunity to explore a lot of the things that the randomizer can throw at you. So hopefully you fare a little bit better in your bonus bracket matchup than you did in this Eatmysteel matchup.
I appreciate that, and you give them good luck there. Still, carry the torch on.
Hey, thanks, man. I know if we were playing the other game that I'm starting to learn right now, which is the Final Fantasy randomizer, things would have been vastly different, I'm sure.
I'm actually in that tournament right now. I'm having my next match Thursday.
Yeah, I think I caught one of your matches, so yeah, that was pretty cool watching those. But yeah, it's a fun game, but I've yet to beat a seed in under about 2.5 hours yet, so I got a lot to learn there.
Oh, it's definitely a fun one to get into if you ever get a chance. Definitely great community. Both communities are great. Well, I got to get going here. I got a little girl who is desperately wanting me to put her down for bed. So I will catch you all later. Again, thank you for your time. Thank you for whoever. I don't know who was tracking. But thanks whoever was tracking. Thanks for doing commentary for us. And again, good luck into the further rounds there, Steele.
Yeah, good luck to you too, man.
Yep. So I'll go ahead and do the quick thank you here. It's we had Gary and Old Wolf doing the restreaming. Thank you very much for swapping overroll.